Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me. My name's Lisa. I'm a converted scrapbooker to Project Lifer. I do not do my albums or my spreads as a double page spread. I do whatever I feel like. I tell a lot of stories now, so that's the difference with going from a 12 by 12 scrapbooker, making a decorative page, to becoming a Project Lifer. I'm telling hundreds and thousands of stories now, which makes me very happy. I'm much happier with this system because it's easier to get on top of. Although it's not as decorative and fun, although it is fun, that's a lie, it is fun, but in a different way. So what I'm about to show you is a flip through. It may take a couple of parts to get through the whole album, but I stopped scrapbooking a few years ago. I picked it back up, and in a couple of weekends I knocked out 2017 and 2018 just to try and catch me up. So how I did it was very simple. I literally just put photos in, didn't really do any embellishment, just photos and cards, and often hand wrote the story just to get it done and finished really quickly. I've since gone back this year, over the last month maybe, of just on my days off here and there, and just started embellishing just to try and give it a bit more interest. But I'm at the point that I'm kind of worn out with the embellishing, so I'll just flick through and show you what I've done. And I apologize for the lights, they're not great, but it's the best I have at the moment. So this album was completed in January of 2019, so this is 2 years after the fact, so there isn't a hell of a lot of in-depth journaling, but looking like scrapbooking retrospectively, it makes you realize you don't have to put every photo in. And I know, like my 2019 albums that I'll do after these videos, I've told a lot more stories because I've done it at the moment in the time. So it's completely different how, if you do it retrospectively versus doing it in the moment. So this page actually got a little bit ruined where we had bushfires in Australia, and I packed all my albums into suitcases because we did evacuate once or twice, and so I had all my albums packed into, I had some of my albums packed into suitcases, the ones that had more stories in it rather than decorative pages. And this page got damaged in the process. I could change it. I've got more design Bs. I just haven't got around to it and couldn't really look. I haven't cared less, really, to be honest. Now this is quite bulgy. It wasn't quite that bulgy when I first did it, but ever since I started embellishing and throwing in wood veneers, oh sorry, no, the chipboards have really bulked it up. So I've gone back and taken some bulk out of the chipboard, but there is still too much in there. But look, at the end of the day, this album, I'll show you from the side, this is 2 years all in one. How this differs from what I'm doing in 2018 and 19. So 2019, a 1 week could be, multiple pages. It could be, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages could be 1 week. Whereas this one, because I've done it retrospectively, so I sat there one weekend and went through my photos, worked out if I could do every week and if I'd have enough photos for each week, and I worked out that I really could. Planned it all out in Photoshop. No, not in Photoshop, I don't have that. PowerPoint, Microsoft PowerPoint. Planned it all out, so basically I knew what size to print the photos. All of the 3x4s have been printed using the Project Life app, putting the 2 photos on the same and printing them out as a 6x4. So I do that a lot in my album. And here we are. So some weeks it's a single page. Occasionally a week might be skipped, or 2 weeks might be combined in one. It is what it is. Its page is done. So this week is just about the kids going. So we had a little weekend away, and the things that they did were, it might have been only been a day. It might have been just a day trip that we did this. And just on the aqua park and things like that. So I've just stuck some stickers on just to finish that page off. Nothing special. This one I've just covered some private information. Otherwise, damaged protector, I apologize. This has just got sticky labels on it, sticky, what do you call it, puffy embellishments, nothing more. Handwritten journaling, which is really ugh, but often I have done strip journaling, so I've typed it all up on my vintage typewriter and cut it, just literally done a whole page of journaling. I've flipped through the album and typed and typed and typed and typed until I've got an entire A4 page printed, and then I cut it into strips and then I just stick it in. It was the quickest, most effective way. If I hadn't handwritten, I did it like this, and that's how I knocked out an album in less than a month. So this page photo is really dark. It's probably really dark for you guys. I should check what you can see. Yeah, it is dark. It's not so dark in real life, but sorry, I'll move that over a little bit there. It's probably not as dark in real life as it is in the picture. I could reprint it, but then, you know, I've matched that to it. So, and this is stapled in because I've stapled something on the opposite side. It is what it is. I can see it here. And it was about getting pages done. So I've thrown a couple of stickers on it. Oh no, actually these are printable sheets of embellishments. So I've just cut them out, stuck them on, called the page done. This page, week 3, really simple, same, you know, very blah photos, nothing special. My son drawing on the wall, so, you know, just a little flip up there, telling the story of it. Terrible stamping. I should actually cover that up, but I don't really care that much. This just got like an overlay over the photo there. This tells a story of my son and my dad going to hold the Premiership Cup from the football that they support, Aussie Rules Footy. So a family had contacts, enabled us to get an opportunity to get that photo, which was brilliant. It was a great moment in Dad and my son's lives. Here we've got week 4. So this was week 3, that was week 3. This is week 4 and that. And I think that's it. Yeah, so there wasn't much. So knowing that these colours were very polarising, green, orange and yellow and orange, it was hard. So I put it in, I put them together on a page. I put things that were part of another story on another. I put a stamp on there. And I've just, this year, not long ago, just added some printables again that I've just cut out and stuck on the front of it. This page, I generally try and cover up the details. This is my kids. I've just used Kaisercraft rub-ons, I think they were, just different parts, rub-ons everywhere, and just some stickers just to finish off the page. Some are, this one's outside, that one's inside, so some are inside and some are outside the pockets. No rhyme or reason. This page, very unimpressed. Blah photos, blah colours. I stuck these stickers on, which I absolutely hate, but they're on there now, so I just move on. This was when we set up. So really, although this was week 6, all these photos were taken on the Sunday. So I do Monday to Sunday for a week. All these photos were taken on the Sunday as we went and set up our caravan at the place where I was having a tennis tournament the following week. And really, what can I tell you, apart from this is the tournament, these are the players that I played with. Really hard to see on the camera, I'm sure, but these actually say the days of the week. And then, you know, flip ups were just with some information, some handwritten journaling again. Here I've got several flip ups. So that was during the week. So the tournament went from Monday to Friday, I think. Monday to Friday. And we got knocked out in the semi-final on the Thursday. So it was convenient because my family came to visit on the Thursday and they stayed with me from the Thursday to the Sunday. And this side of the page tells a story from my family visiting's point of view at the same location. So here we've just got a couple of flip ups, flip up here, flip up there, another flip up down here, showing like my husband's Facebook post, things like that. And you know, more Facebook posts. Just, I figure, you know, it shows multiple photos, it tells a bit of a story, and it also shows kind of the time of, you know, we put things on Facebook. That's how we share things with the family. This is just a little plastic doily type thing which I've used the other part on another page further along. This page, nothing special, so the same thing. These are just some puffy stickers that I've recently acquired. Here we've just got some of those cut apart sheets. Tried to pair them up, put the little puffy stickers on. Tells the story of, you know, my moving from postbound albums to trying to put all my family layouts in these colour block. I think they're colour block albums. Look, they're not brilliant quality, but they do, as you'll see in my 2019 when I show those, the spines are broken in some. You know, it is what it is. It's just an interim spot until they're literally ready to be stored on the shelf for good. This, I'm not a fan of gold, to be honest. I hate gold. I love silver, but I hate gold. So when I came to embellish this, I decided not to actually put anything else on it. I left the gold on there. It shows a story of my son's birthday. Nothing else to say. This is his party with friends, a couple of stickers thrown on. And then over here we've got a family trip to Merimbula. So this is where I found how dimensional those chipboards were. These are, I think, Ellie Edwards chipboards. They were so thick that you could actually see them when I had, I think here, this one and this one, because they were behind each other, really lifted up quite a lot. So they were already attached. I've pulled them up. It has left residual cardboard on the photo. I peeled off as many layers as I could, and then I put it back down again. That's all I could really do there. So all I've done on this page is just added a whole bunch of chipboards. It's a flip out, more chipboards in here. Tells a story. This one's got a photo overlay over the top of it, just to try and block out some of the bits and pieces in there. So that's that page. Back we go. And then, so this is still on that trip. And this shows, you know, nothing special, just a word. Some more wood veneers just to finish it off. More wood veneers, just some letters, stickers stuck on just to try and finish the page, just to make it look different. But I don't care if everything looks the same. Stories are getting told and photos are getting displayed. This page, yet again, I've used gold. Don't know why. I'm not a fan of gold, but the photos with blur again. You know, this is, you know, 2 years later I've decided to scrap these photos. Had I known that my photos were so blur, I might have done something about it. Even when I went to print them off, I didn't bother with editing because I just want to get it done. So it's done. The photo under here being brighter because it's a school photo has been put under a flip for that reason. So all I've done there is I've used a card, I put a stamp on it, and then I've just stuck some letters, some word stickers, word art on it. Page done. Stories told. This puffy stickers, an Ellie Edwards heart. That's the other half of that, the other third of that doily, plastic doily from back there. A couple more puffy stickers, some journaling just around the card. Over here, just some chipboards, a few of those, telling the story of, you know, my son's birthday, what he chose to do, the fact that he doesn't let me take photos, so I have to pretend I'm not doing it, and I'm doing it from the car. The kids in their swim squad, their school photos. So, you know, that's just what happened that week. Over here, this tells, you know, tells story of the bond between the kids. This is school holidays. So it's the end of first term, start of second term school holidays. So I've got different things, you know, under here I've got more photos of my son on a play date, and then, you know, the fact that my middle child felt big and important and, you know, sharing a hot chocolate with me. So something special for him. Here we've got, you know, flip ups, we've got stories told. I've thrown on three cork embellishments, and then just the pleather family that came with an Ellie Edwards kit recently, just to finish the page off. Over here, all I've done is I've put on plastic. So these I'd put on when I actually did the page, you know, last year, some stage. This year when I've gone back, I've just literally put on these little plastic bits. I've cut some down and put them so that they're spread around the page just to finish it off a bit. Over here, I've added on a little bike wood veneer. I've got a little overlay on this one, show my son riding his bike, teaching himself in his little compression singlet, teaching himself to ride a bike, and wearing this helped him deal with issues if he fell or anything. This week 17, how many photos did I have? 1, and that photo wasn't taken by me. It was actually sent to me. So the photo's there, it's dark, it's at somebody else's house, so I put an overlay over it. There's not really much there, it's more about the story, so the story's been added. Over here we've got a story of my son getting his learner's permit. Also my boys and I, so these are my boys here, and I'm up here in this team here. So this was a 24-hour squash and racquetball tournament, a fundraiser for Multiple Sclerosis Society. And so I've just showed photos of, you know, how we play singles or doubles. You know, 2 o'clock in the morning when everyone's exhausted, we play doubles just to keep, somebody's got to be on the court for 24 hours in order to achieve what we've got to achieve for it. Over here, I've just stuck on some very, very old bits and pieces that I found in my stash, just stapled on some gold, yet again gold. These photos, you know, had I been doing it now and spending more time and caring a bit more, I would have actually printed them in black and white, but it is what it is. This is how I printed them at the time, this is how I put it in the album, this is how I started picking cards and everything, so I'm just going with it. Page is done. You know, progress not perfection, and it's really true with this whole album. This is week 20, so this just, you know, I've added a few of those cut apart sheets. So it's literally, I just go onto pages where they've got free cut aparts, or I buy like printable sheets off every site you can possibly imagine. Anyone who's got digital printables, I print them off. I print them onto either A4 or 12 by 12 paper with my wide format printer, and then cut them out and embellishment's done. So that's nothing special. So use the same thing here, you know, nothing special, just finishes it off. Another little flip up telling of stories. Here again, so here I'm on a real kick of using all these. The best thing about them is that they're very flat, as opposed to this cork learn that I have had for forever, quite high and raised and doesn't crush down very well. This page I had to come back through multiple times because I literally had just the photos in here, and they were dark, they were hard to see, they were all taken after dark. So I've come back, I found some cards that had, you know, like constellations on it, and I've decided to cut the photos down, put on a couple of bits and pieces, tear some bits and pieces, and just try and lighten it a little. Here, yet again, some of those cut apart sheets, stories told, again, cut aparts. I think this was on there from originally, so I thought I'll keep going with the circle theme, so I've added some more circles. Over here, this was a horrible page when I first did it. All I've done is I've taken photos off, I've cut them smaller, I've mounted them on something. I think I took a photo out from there because these photos were so dark and useless. Terrible journaling, but you know, the story is told. I much prefer type journaling. This page, really not much was happening. I've got my passport. So originally this showed my passport, but I thought I'd like to keep it private because it is personal information on it. So that's just tucked in underneath between. So this is the back of a Design G protector. So all I've done is I've just got a X-Acto knife and just cut the back of the protector in the spot where I need to be able to slide in and out. Applying for my Chinese visa in order to go on a trip shortly with a friend. So over here, you know, family photo shoot, just the colours were very out there, but these are what were sent to us by the photographer, so I just kind of went with it. And all I've done is stuck some of those flowers down. Yet again, you know, cut apart sheet. This has been in my stash for probably 15 years, I reckon. I think it came with a Project Life kit or something. I don't know what it came with, but it's been there forever. It fitted perfectly, and I thought, why not? Just use it. This is just a tag that I bought from somebody who'd made a whole bunch of personal tags. And no flip ups there. So this is just my family. So this is like my extended family on mum's side. On my side, I should say, my side. So my mum, my dad, my brothers and sister, and all their families. This is my actual family. So my husband and I and our 3 kids. So, hey guys, sorry my video cut out at the end. It flicked onto a new file, so I thought, well, it was long enough anyway at 20 minutes, so I thought I'll stop this video here and then I'll upload a new one for the second half of this flick through. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks a lot. See ya.